Not a lot, to be honest. I just seen like documentaries online.
I don't know. See, I don't know what to say. There's no proof that he's not real.
I think Bigfoot was just some big ass dude who was maybe like 7 feet tall, had big feet, and people back then were like little short people, so they were like, what the hell is this? This dude's big as hell. And they tried finding him. Dude probably got creeped out and he started hiding.
I don't know. All I know is that they're here. I know they're here. I know they're huge. I know they're hairy. I know they walk on 2 feet. I know they're extremely intelligent.
Heard of Bigfoot. I actually grew up in Africa, so I never heard of Bigfoot. So my introduction was Jim, and he'd be showing me things on YouTube, and I'd be going, oh sure, there's a big hairy creature out there, absolutely. And people start coming in the store and saying, do you believe in this? And I'd say, he does. Speak to him. But then I would be listening, and I heard so many stories that were just so convincing that it didn't take long before I went, oh my gosh, there really is something out there, and I better start taking this seriously.
All the t-shirts are pretty much my design with a couple of exceptions.
And now I'm just completely convinced just from other people's accounts, because you can't just write them all off as being, mistaken or lying or hoaxing. I mean, they knew what they saw and they were shattered by their experience. So.
But usually when I ask, when people come in our store, somebody in the group or multiple people who say, well, I don't believe Sasquatch exists. And my question to them is always, fine, how much research have you done on this topic? And in every case, they've never done any research. They just think Sasquatch doesn't exist because, why? Because we can't have an 8-foot hominid, hairy hominid walk around the woods. Why can't we?
We were camping, and it was a dead quiet night, and Jim was already asleep, so he didn't even hear this, but out of nowhere comes this unearthly, powerful, earth-shattering howl, scream, yell, hard to describe, and it went on for like 45 seconds. So for 45 seconds I'm laying there going, what on earth? And I'm going, that's no cat, no mountain lion, not a coyote. And I'm just scratching off my list of what it can't be. And finally I'm left with, that is one powerful set of lungs to make that much sound. And at that moment I thought, I can totally imagine a big, giant creature making a sound like that. So
When a guy who you don't know cries kind of involuntarily, to me that's like, okay, either you're the best actor in the world or you had an encounter that completely shook you to the core. I took a guy and a gal out to look for Bigfoot late in the night. We hadn't seen anything, but the woods were completely silent. There were no bugs. I mean, completely silent. And I don't often have that experience, so we were walking back single file about 11 o'clock at night. There was nobody else out there. We knew there were no campers out there. I heard a sound behind us, a loud crack, and so something, I thought that the guy had reached up and broken a branch off. It was that loud. So I turned around and I asked him if that was him, and he was turned around and he was running back the way we had come down the trail. And so I ran after him. We heard another crack, and then we heard a big thud, like somebody had either stepped on the ground or dropped a big rock on the ground. And we couldn't see anything, but when I asked him later, he said that, you know, he was last in line. Something hit a tree behind us, a rock or a branch, hard. I mean, it hit the tree hard. And you have to have a hand to throw stuff. You can't, bears don't throw, nothing else throws besides us and Sasquatch. So they were out there watching us, or it was out there watching us, and threw something at us while we were in the woods. Where we're going today is called Guanella Pass, and we're going to hopefully get on a trail that's called the Abyss Trail. What we're looking for basically is anything that looks like it doesn't belong, that something is out of place. Trees are where they shouldn't be. Whether there's roots at the bottom, that one was carried here. There's no roots. That fell, that was there. Still in the ground. So I'm gonna guess this one is probably natural, but we find stuff like this all the time where they would lean stuff together, and you can tell because the trees didn't grow there. Walk across the rocks there if you don't want to get into the deeper pool. I haven't seen anything yet that would tell me that it's for sure a Sasquatch.
See, I was a very close-minded person, you know, like I don't believe in UFOs, I don't believe in anything, you know, woo-woo out there, and thinking that that's being smart and intellectual. But what I realized is it's just close-minded to say, well, you all can see it and believe it, but unless I see it, I'm not going to believe it. That's kind of foolish.
If you study all the evidence that's out there and still say, well, they don't exist, then it takes more faith to believe that they don't exist than to believe that they do.
Because it's the easy road. Don't confuse me with the facts. I know what I believe. I don't want to hear anything to the contrary. So I can stay in my prejudice and my bias, and I don't even have to consider the alternative. If we keep our definition of truth so narrow, well, it has to be something that I personally have seen, experienced, touched, then our experience of truth is going to be extremely narrow. Experience, what kept me from even being open to certain truths was just biases that I brought with me from my background. And over the years, I've learned to let go of some of those fondly held beliefs and just open myself up more to other possibilities. Now I have so many more questions, but I'm so much more at peace.
Somebody once said to us, and I think it's a really good statement, rather let error live than love die.